Hi, this is another episode of Flippin' About, and this is Genie,
Nancy.
and we'll be making Filipino and Oriental dishes, and any dishes with flipping it and making it more interesting.
She will be Filipiniping it, meaning a cheesecake that will be Filipinized with an ingredient of ube. While me, I'm taking something from Thailand, which is like what they jewels, like what they call rubies, and it will be called Tub Tim Grob. It's going to be very easy using water chestnuts. Water chestnuts is an ingredient that I hardly see nowadays except in Chinese or Oriental restaurants. But we're gonna make it so simple that you will like to do it.
And mine is, I'll just be making ube sour cream cheesecake. So ube is a popular root crop in the Philippines, and it's purple. You can call it purple yam. So it has a very distinct flavor, and it has a very distinct smell as well. You can really tell it's ube.
It smells like pandan or something.
Yeah, it's really
very pleasant.
Yeah,
smell.
it's very pleasant.
Tell them that the best ube comes from your province.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh really? It comes from Cebu. I think Karkar or something.
Or Talisay? Did you?
No,
it's
not,
Karkar.
I'm not sure if it's Karkar, but I know there's a place in Cebu where the best ube is. Because right now, there's what you call the mestizo ube, where they grow gabi and ube, and it becomes a little like light violet or just a mix of white with some violet things in it. This one is the real one that's very, very, very violet.
Yeah. So ube can be found in jam. So I'll show you later. We'll top our cream cheese with the ube jam. Okay, and thank you for watching. Hi, this is Jeannie, and for today I'll be making ube sour cream cheesecake. So this is just a general like rundown of the ingredients. So we need graham crackers. This is the melted butter, and this is what the graham crackers looks like. And this will be our filling, which we will have cream cheese, sour cream, 1 egg, vanilla. If you want something sweeter, you can add sugar. If not, this should be enough, which is 1/4 cup of the Ube Condensed Milk. So you can buy it at any Filipino Oriental store. They should carry this one, and this one would be our topping, the ube yam, purple yam jam. And so these are just basic ingredients, and I'll be showing you how to put them all together. Okay, so what I did is I ground the graham crackers already. So just to show you, you need at least a cup, and a cup is like 6 to 8 pieces of these ones. So these are long ones. So but when you put them here, when you ground them up in the food processor, you have to make sure that it's see, because if you don't, you have to shake it up a bit, because it's there. You have to brown it up. And you shake it up a bit, so here. So because it would have like coarse pieces, and you don't want that. And let's see. So this one, if you don't ground it up, it will have a lot of pieces still. See? Okay, and you can just finish this here. If you've ever made cheesecake, you need the springform pan. So what we'll do is we'll just put this all together. So this one is already honey graham. So if this one you still have parts that are not fully already ground up, you can just use your hands. So this one is kind of sweet already. So if you are one of those people, you have a sweet tooth, you want more sugar, you can add at least 1 tablespoon of sugar, granuled sugar, just to make sure that if you want more sugar in there. But if not, the graham cracker should be enough. And this is melted butter, which is a 1/4 cup, or around half of the
Bar.
yeah, it's half of the bar. So I melted it 30 seconds in the microwave. So you just have to incorporate this one. Okay. And if you feel that it's still too dry, you can add more. What is important is you use the butter and the graham crackers to put it at the bottom. So you really have to press it hard. So as for me, I like really a thick crust. So since we have a smaller pan, you can use less if you want. If you want a thinner crust, but if you want a thicker crust. Okay, there you go. And this will go in the fridge overnight if you want to. Or you can put this in a freezer so that we can use this right away. So as for me, I like a thicker crust. So I'll put this in the freezer to set for 30 minutes. So while the pie crust is in the freezer, so we're gonna prepare the filling. So you need to have softened 1 package of cream cheese. You put it in a bowl. So it has to be like room temperature, so you can mix it, or you can use a mixer, or just using this by hand. And then you can use the sour cream, 1/2 cup of sour cream. So the cream cheese has been sitting for a while, like at room temperature, so it's easier to work with or mix. Okay, and we need to add more. So this one is approximately 1/2 cup, so you can add this one. Just gives it body and flavor. And if you like sweeter cream cheese, you can add a tablespoon of sugar, but this one is the Ube Condense Milk. So it already has sugar in it. So this one is equivalent to 1/4 cup. So this is very overpowering. So you can use this one. Use a spatula. So it will really have that really purple color, which is what we want because it's here. But it will give that flavor, see? If you like a lighter color, you can definitely use less if you want, or more. It really is up to your preference. And since this is a baked type of cheesecake, we use egg as a binder. And if you like the no-bake cheesecake, you can add gelatin, like maybe 3 tablespoons of gelatin to set this one. Okay, and since I want to add more flavor and scent to this one, I add like a teaspoon of vanilla. There you go. So you can taste this one. If this is too sweet for you, definitely it helps if you taste it, because some people prefer less sweet. Actually, I like this one. Okay. So the sour cream actually balances out the ube flavor. And if you have a mixer, definitely would help, or a food processor, so this would be more evenly distributed. And then you put an egg. Sorry. So this will help set it. So if you have a bigger pan, in our case we have a smaller pan. So if a bigger pan, you use like double the measurements. So 2 eggs, 2 cream cheese, and half cup of sugar or the ube, and 1 cup of the sour cream if you want. But this one is just a smaller. We have a smaller pan, so this has a smaller measurement as well. Okay, so you can see it's very purple. And again, if you like it more sweet, you can add more sugar. In my case, I think this is enough. But if you really are like a sweet tooth, you can just sprinkle like a tablespoon more. Okay, and that's it. Once the pan is ready, we're just gonna pour this in a pan and put it in the preheated oven, 325, 350 for 25 minutes or until this sets. Okay. So since it was a bit lumpy, you can use a handheld mixer if you have a mixer, a food processor, anything that would So be careful, this one is okay, and let's see. We'll mix it with this one. Okay. I think it needs more. So I'm just using the low setting because this is like when our crust is ready, we'll just we'll put this we'll pour it over the crust. Oh yes. So this is already set in the freezer for around 30 minutes. So see, so now it's so the cream cheese, it doesn't have to be very fine. And then you can pour it here. So use a spatula to really get the into the nook and crannies and to really make sure.
Jenny, doesn't it look like a blueberry cheesecake also?
Yeah, it does look like a blueberry cheesecake. But this is the ube. It's ube is known for purple color. So since ours is a baked cheesecake, so you just do that one to get rid of the bubbles. So since this is a baked cheesecake, it goes in the oven. So the no-bake cheesecake, as I mentioned, you can use 3 tablespoons of gelatin plus some warm water and then make it as the binder. But this one we're using the egg as the binder. So just to get rid of the bubbles and to make sure. Okay. And then see the bubbles. And then that's it. We'll pop it in the oven for
Jenny, you can
30 minutes.
you can also make a wave like that with your spatula.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At the batter, just to make, you know, just something like a wave like that, and a deep wave. Yes, just to make sure that the air bubbles escape. Yeah. There.
Okay.
Hey, great.
Okay, we'll pop this in the oven at 350 degrees. Okay. Out my cheesecake. So you do the toothpick test. So it has to come out clean. See, it's clean. There you go. So if it's sticky still, it's not ready. So this should be ready. So I actually needed at least, this actually needed 15 more minutes. So it's actually been in there for 45 minutes. I'm gonna stop right now. And I'm gonna take it out of the pan and let it settle for a bit and let it cool. So this is the cheesecake out of the pan, and we will let it cool before we actually slice it because we don't want it to fall apart. So we'll let it cool down for maybe 30 more minutes, 30-40 minutes, just to make sure it's really cooled down, and then we can slice it. So this one came out of the oven already, so make sure that you use a knife to secure the side so that it doesn't stick. I think this one is better if you put it in the fridge overnight. Okay, and so this is our cheesecake. There you go. And if you want to decorate it more, you can use whipping cream. In my case, I use the ube jam or the ube halaya. I put it here, and you can just decorate it around there. This one is not cooperating, but you can dollop it around here to decorate it. So this one is just for the one slice. So I suggest whipping cream. It's better, it gives more contrast, but I just wanted to use the ube halaya. So you can cut it maybe with a longer knife. It's a longer knife. There you go. So that's the cream cheese, sour cream cheese. There you go. And with a topping of ube halaya. So it's ube on ube, so which is very rich. But yeah, and make sure you're using a very sharp knife when you cut, so it cuts all the way through. And I'll put this on a serving dish.
Tub Tim Grob means rubies or pomegranate, which is very red. So it's like the rubies that you would wear as jewels. That's why they also call it Thai jewels. This is just using water chestnuts, red food coloring for ruby, or you can use blue for lapis lazuli, green for emerald, yellow for topaz, whichever, any gem that you want to color. And more importantly, we have potato starch. This cannot be substituted with cornstarch. Potato starch or tapioca starch are the best because they will really stick together and become transparent when cooked. This is an added tip. When you want to thicken some gravy, or like in Chinese cooking, they don't really use cornstarch and water. Try using potato starch and it will become finer and clearer without becoming cloudy. Potato starch is the secret. We're also going to use for our sauce or the soup. This is going to be a dessert soup. We have coconut milk, I have my sugar syrup, and a little salt. You know, there's a good contrast adding a little salt to heighten the sweetness of the coconut milk and syrup. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's see how this will work. Okay. The principle of this exercise is really the action of the potato starch and the boiling it and showing you how this can be transformed into a dessert. Let's start. I want rubies. That's why I'm going to use a lot of, you're gonna run out of red food coloring. Yes, just so it will not be scattered. The coloring, put it first, drain, tilt it a little. Maybe 10 to 15 drops will be good. There. While we're doing this and waiting for the color to be absorbed by water chestnuts. By the way, the water chestnuts, what I did with this is I got them and just broke them into smaller pieces. Okay? Like uncut gems. There you go. Now I'm boiling water, but I'm now going to start with the process of coating my water chestnut with potato starch. Is this red enough for you? It's not so much ruby. This is like a fake ruby. Okay, little by little you'll need a strainer. Okay, so drop them by piece onto a bowl of your potato starch. What I suggest is you always have to be prepared. Everything should already be ready and easy to find, and use one hand that's dry and another hand that's wet. It's the same method you will use when you are dressing or preparing to fry something. You have one hand that's wet, one hand that's dry, and you have one towel that's wet and one towel that's dry. Okay? So with this, I'll just shake it, drain it, sift it out. Okay, so the color stays, and put this back. Actually, put this back here and shake it some more. Okay, this is my dry hand. So it's good for you to have two bowls so that your work won't be messy. So again, I'm double coating it. Maybe another coating, and you'll see why later. Shake it again. You see what makes the jewels stick is because there's just a little enough water to make it stick. Okay. All right. I guess this is enough. So we have another batch. Let's make another batch. This is a nice dessert. It's unique. It's tasty. The chestnuts are nutty, and it's a good conversation piece. Okay, again. Drain and put back. I don't like doing shortcuts because if you do shortcuts and you just keep on letting it letting it absorb that without sifting it, it's going to be uneven. Okay, but look at this. See, it's very even. Okay. So again, if you don't want a messy table, you can line it first with water. You can line it with any used newspaper or paper there. So maybe another one, okay? Another layer. We always clean as we go. So here we go again. So just keep repeating this process 3 or 4 times to make sure that the chestnuts, water chestnut pieces are well coated. Remember, it's still moist. So as the there you go. As the liquid, the remaining wetness of the chestnuts hold on to the potato starch. See, it gets thicker and thicker. Let's make a few more. That's enough. Toss. You see, the easy way would be to just let it absorb, but I don't like doing that because it's not consistent. Sometimes the coating, the layering of the potato starch gets too thick in some places, and then when you cook it, it won't look so nice. Right. Again, strain. And put back. And another one. Once more. This is going to be the 3rd coating. There we go. Okay, I think we have enough. A little of sugar syrup, depending on how sweet you want it. This is all actually coconut milk already has its natural sweetness, and just a little salt, just to counter the sweetness. Perfect. Alright, so now we move here. It's already boiling and you have to have a strainer and ice water to cool the rubies. Okay, so it has to be this kind of boiling. It's rapid boil. Put a few. It will sink to the bottom and quickly they will just rise up. See how pretty this is? I will lower it a bit so you can see. Once you have put it already on boil, you can easily just, there are your beautiful. See, what happened was the action of the boiling water cooked the potato starch and made it look very translucent, like it was shiny. Now if you have more time and you want it to be thicker, just keep on repeating the process of coating it, layering it. Alright, now cool it in your ice bath and let's make some more. Once they float, that means that they're done. Because anyway, when you buy cooked water chestnuts, they're already cooked. So this one is not yet floating up, but once they float in 2 to 3 minutes, then that means that the starch has already been fully cooked there. Just make sure that the water is rapidly boiling or on full boil. There, they have already started to float. So I'll fish them out again and dunk them in my cold water. When you see that there's still just a little white here, okay, that means the coating is too thick, just return them and finish up with the rest. So again, rapidly boiling until it floats. Now, once you have done this, keep it in water. Do not refrigerate it. Keep it at room temperature. If you refrigerate it, the coating of the tapioca is going to again soften and the color will run and you'll have a very runny and ugly ruby. It won't look like the jewels that you want it to be. There, starting to float. I'm now going to shut off my beautiful. Okay. You can have sweet potato or corn or other things with it, or just by itself. Put it there and serve it. And it will be a very interesting piece of dessert that people will want to talk about. And then, if you're with your husband and you say, oh, I like the rubies, but in fact I like the special, the real rubies. When are you gonna get me some? Okay, it's the last of my rubies. And there you have a very nice and wonderful, simple, easy to prepare plan ahead dessert thanks to the Thai people and also to the Vietnamese who do this. This is called Tub Tim Grob, but you can always say ruby jewels in coconut milk. Thank you. This is the tasting session already, where we will see if we succeed, if Jenny's
Cheesecake.
Ube cheesecake is
Sour
successful.
cheesecake, yes.
Yeah, with sour cream.
See?
Mm.
Yeah. Let's see.
You know that catchphrase now of people who talk about food, not so sweet. Well, this is very right. Not so sweet, which makes it pleasant, not cloying, and it's a good introduction to the taste of the unique Filipino taste of ube. Ube is not only in the Philippines, it's found in many other countries as a root crop. But we do a lot of desserts with ube. And this is an Americanized version, which is really nice.
Yeah. With the topping of the ube halaya, it really adds more sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
And I like the crust.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be patient with waiting for it to set in the freezer or the ref. And also for the cream cheese stuffing.
Yeah, you have to wait. So we're gonna try the this one, the pearl. Okay, red
Yeah.
one. Oh.
This is yours.
Oh.
Now this is the dessert Tub Tim Grob, and I've tasted it before, but it's something new to Jenny, and she said it's like sago, which exactly what it is, right?
Yeah, it's like tapioca.
But there's a nice crunch.
Yeah.
Sometimes people cannot identify anymore with what it is
It's really good.
because they don't know what water chestnut is.
And I like the texture. It's tapioca-like.
Yeah, it plays in your tongue,
Yeah.
and it's very good. It's nice for the kids. It's a way of making the kids eat something like they think is not a vegetable.
And I like the coconut with the sugar water or the.
Very pleasant, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually it reminds me of tapioca. It really does, and I can't believe this is water chestnuts.
Yeah, so when you're doing all this, especially this Tub Tim Grob, make sure that you can always prepare it ahead and keep it at room temperature, or maybe in just a little ice. Don't put it in the ref for a long time. So do it maybe a day ahead and serve it as a dessert. And make people curious. Ask them, hey, what's this? You know, you can also do different colors. So I think we did a very colorful episode.
I
The
know.
purple and the red is very rich, plus your flowery dress.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed this time that we cooked all these two dishes. We will be doing some more, and just keep on watching. Flippin' about.
Yeah, flipping about. Thank you. Till next time.